Ever wondered why you sometimes act in ways you don't understand or even dislike about yourself? Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss life-changing psychology insights like this. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, introduced a fascinating and sometimes uncomfortable concept called the shadow, and if you understand it deeply, it can completely change the way you see yourself and others. Your shadow is the hidden side of your personality, the mental basement, where you stored all the parts of yourself you or society have deemed unacceptable. It's where the anger you don't admit to lives. The jealousy you pretend you never feel. The pride you've been told is arrogance. The fears you've buried, and even secret ambitions you're too afraid to pursue. Most of us learned early in life to hide these parts away. As children, we were taught how to be good. Don't cry. Don't show too much emotion. Don't be selfish. Don't talk back. Don't take up too much space, and the parts of us that did fit the acceptable mold got pushed down into the unconscious. We didn't destroy them. We just locked them up. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Ignoring your shadow doesn't make it disappear. It simply makes it act in the dark, influencing your decisions, your relationships, and even your self-image without you realizing it. Jung famously said, until you make the unconscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. That means many of the patterns you struggle with, repeating the same mistakes, sabotaging relationships, reacting strongly to certain people, are not random. They're your shadow speaking through you. Let's get practical. Have you ever met someone and instantly disliked them, even though they never did anything to you? Or maybe you've criticized someone for being arrogant, selfish, lazy, or too ambitious, but deep down, part of you recognizes those same traits in yourself. Jung called this projection the act of seeing in others what you cannot or will not see in yourself. The irony is, the more you hate a quality in someone else, the more likely it's hiding in your own shadow. Think about it. Why do we get so emotionally triggered by certain traits in others? If a quality truly has nothing to do with us, it passes unnoticed. But when it hits a nerve, that's our shadow being poked. The shadow isn't just made of negative traits. It can also hold positive qualities you've suppressed, because they didn't fit your image or upbringing. Maybe you were told as a child that you were too loud, so you learned to be quiet, but in doing so, you buried your charisma and leadership potential. Maybe you were told you were too sensitive, so you learned to toughen up, but along the way, you lost some of your empathy and ability to connect deeply with others. By pushing these traits into the shadow, you don't just hide your flaws, you also hide your gifts. That's why Jung saw shadow work not as an act of shame, but as an act of wholeness. The process of integrating the shadow is like reclaiming lost treasure. It's about becoming a complete person, not perfect, but whole. But confronting the shadow is not easy. It means looking directly at the parts of yourself you've avoided for years, maybe decades. It means admitting you're not always as nice, as generous, or as pure as you'd like to think. It means seeing how your fears and desires have shaped your life in ways you didn't realize. This can be uncomfortable, painful, but it's also deeply freeing. Because once you see your shadow clearly, it stops controlling you from the dark. Throughout history, countless artists, musicians, and innovators have tapped into their shadow to fuel their work. They've turned pain into poetry, rage into revolution, shame into empathy. Think about great works of art, novels, or musicta. Ones that move you deeply often come from someone willing to confront their deepest truths, even the ugly ones. By working with the shadow, you turn what could destroy you into something that empowers you. So how do you start? Step 1. Notice your emotional triggers. The next time someone annoys you or makes you angry, pause before reacting and ask yourself, what is this really about? Is this reminding me of something in myself? Step 2. Keep a shadow journal. Write down moments when you feel jealous, defensive, ashamed, or unusually irritated. Over time, patterns will appear. Maybe you get defensive when someone questions your intelligence, or jealous when a friend succeeds in an area you've ignored in your own life. These patterns are signposts pointing directly to your shadow. Step 3. Use self-reflection tools like meditation or active imagination, a technique. Jung developed where you visualize and talk to your shadow, asking it questions and listening to what it says. Step 4. Seek safe spaces for exploration therapy. Support groups or even creative outlets can help you work through the emotions your shadow stirs up. And through all of this, remember, Step 5. Practice self-compassion. Your shadow is not proof that you are bad or broken. It's a survival mechanism formed to protect you when you were too young to handle certain emotions. By integrating it, you're not becoming worse, you're becoming more real, more authentic, and more in control. Over time, this work changes you in subtle but profound ways. You judge others less harshly because you see your own flaws in them. You react less impulsively because you understand the emotions driving your reactions. You make more conscious choices because you're re-aware of the unconscious forces that used to run the show. Life begins to feel less like a series of random problems and more like a path of self-discovery. Integrating your shadow docenti means you act on every impulse. It means you acknowledge every part of yourself. So no single part has secret control over you. The truth is, your shadow will always be part of you, but whether it controls you or supports you is your choice. The next time you feel jealousy, anger, or shame rising up, don't push it away. Get curious. Ask, what is this here to teach me? That discomfort is not your enemy, it's your map. And if you follow it, you might just find that the darkness you've been running from all your life is the source of your brightest light, your deepest creativity, and your truest self.